Speaking in tongues, speaking in tongues,
Hablando en
speaking
lenguas.
in tongues.
This long verse was inspired by Ana Castillo's Massacre of the Dreamers, where within it she says, I was unable to unearth the female indigenous consciousness that I am certain is part of my genetic collective memory and life experience. In Tenochtitlan, Montezuma called upon thousands of dreamers who were sharing the same premonition. The prophesied arrival of Cortes and the subsequent annihilation of the empire. Montezuma's order to have the dreamers murdered in mass did not stop the landing of those alien ships that were already on their way, but those whose intentions were to take whatever riches were found at any cost. From Ana Castillo's Massacre of the Dreamers, 1995. We were made in the image of starlit sky and land-filled flesh. I stumbled upon a stone. It just so happened to be a fragment of an entire you, and it was at this time that the will to live surpassed the will of time. Your supple brown hips swayed. I fell in love. As I picked up stone, rubbing sharp edges, I looked to the east, then north, then west, and began to spread your legs, placing my face in between your warm hearth, the world shining in browns, rust-colored sunsets, your labia lapis lazuli, the color of Donatiel's eyes. Brutal came to my lips as we made love, with the moon above us becoming dust. Suddenly, I lost the ability to pronounce your name. The trees sashayed your hips in unknown ways, every piece of your body a fragment on the center of my tongue, a dent on a portion of earthland, where it would feel like a pond, and I could press my cheek against it, wrap my arms around your waist. I am writing a love poem towards you, so long that it finally reaches you, my flying serpent, my constant beginning and end, Gotlike ejaculating Inanna, Inanna ejaculating Gotlike. Like the times when we used to imagine digging a hole so deep that we would reach the depths of the other side. This is what life feels like, a wound so cavernous it has transformed to joy. Watching your lips reflect the mid-morning, reflecting the sun moving towards us. What would happen if we got Sappho's missing fragments? Filled in the blanks like the apparition of a 1,000-year-old lake after the floods. Would that change how you felt about me? Would you love me less? Where the word beloved disappeared from our lips, only to relocate the artifact so it must have been a muse, excavating a reborn carcass after a relapse of sorts. Would you still call me filthy and gorgeous, our palms spread over hieroglyphs, like wide open thick thighs beckoning, holding how you would hold a warm breath, woolly cuerpo criatura, formless in unknown night, as our eye relearns thought? Would you be able to remember me, how we were then? Standing by the gas station, blue on our teeth, as we chugged in fire whiskey, twisting the word desire within our rolled-in tongues, our bodies being all that keeps being defined by lines and borders, holding in the warm embrace of what we imagine happening. I want to remember the skin on our light, the silk gown you wore and left on the bathroom floor, empapada de ti. We're both like it's a Batsley lost song. Never mind that. We were more so like all the lost Nahual poems, like all the love poems decimated, filthy, and gorgeous. They must have all sung under a Venus light before they massacred the dreamers, their mouths wet and warm with tepache. Before it all happened, I wonder if before times they too got 20 tattoos that we might have gotten. I keep thinking about the blue sparkling medias you left on my kitchen sink. Picked them up, attempted to fold them, imagine you fingering yourself like you like to do before going to work or a revolutionary protest. Your first husband's brother, wrinkled and folded paper in my pocket. And I thought, there's so much sex in revolution. A small white stain in the middle of your mess. You left me with so much. And when I'm talking about the before times, I'm talking about the time Cortes arrived and saw the most injustice city in the world. Before all the codices were shattered and Amoxicillin disappeared. The moment you walked out of my chair, your left nostril was to the north, the other one spread to the south, your torso and lips pointing east and west. Sabíamos lo que éramos en la madrugada. El día traspasó más de 2,300 años. Ya no somos las mismas. And I dipped the fat of my palm inside the afterglow of the morning star. Xicotlique, the light we all have been worshipping. color lapislázuli. Hoy me escondí bajo el humo y me fijé en los fragmentos, nuestros preciosos fragmentos hechos de células que hacen sangre y músculo. Me escondí buscándote, me topé con el tiempo que se olvida, el polvo de nosotras, polvo, arena que ha sido volteada, torturada en ser y luego echada. Y le pregunté a mi corazón, ¿quién es el polvo? ¿Cómo fuimos? ¿Y cómo somos? ¿A dónde vamos? Todas mis esperanzas en mi boca, en mi garganta, en tus cuerpos. Todas las palabras un puño de polvo. Quiero besar tu boca, comerte como cualquier otra lesbiana que te he amado en secreto. Decirte que te amo, que tú estás en mis pensamientos cuando no estás conmigo. Y muevo mi lengua con fuerza. Cuando siento tu sudor en mi mejilla, cuando me saludas. Es verdad que siento que estoy en una de las viejas historias de amor, de lesbianas, que si yo te dijera que esto terminaría, que todo podía terminar. Cuerpo, criatura, I tripped over the line of this long verse, wrapped my body around the milpa. I meant to kiss your mouth. I don't know how it happened. It must have happened for it to happen. How do you read into body gestures from 1,000 years ago? Buried bodies of children, the flick of a finger, the wiggle of shoulders, my hand slipping through your armpit, subtle whispered movements reaching out through moments of a limb or two coming together. I keep trying to hear the unsaid fragment that sounded right before they massacred the dreamers, even though I'm still trying to catch the tune that played at Lake Berryessa 3 days ago through the mouth of a little brown girl singing, Jugaremos en el bosque mientras el lobo no está. It must have been a symphony of sorts. I've given up on being sober around you, just in case I trap the sound and howl with las lobos. And if I catch it, I wouldn't know how to repeat it with your throat. Maybe my stubbornness is that I want these words to feel in our mouths, even if we never know them. The thing is, there was a time warp, and within that time warp, I was able to reach into the now empty chest of a now poet, giving away her breath. She lay there thinking she was still alive as her heart beat outside her body, her brown warm skin shining like gold, reflecting the jaws of the full moon. I bent down, kissed her mouth. Y algún cuerpo dando some that her kept saying across firelit faces. The kiss, the kiss, the kiss meant nothing. Todo el día he estado pensando solo la pregunta entre tus labios y cómo tus labios fumaron la pregunta hacia mí. I keep burning all my letters to get to Cuadro Marinzin, hoping to relocate a transcendent throat. Toda una O como el número cero, asking for the buzz of B in exchange for all the lives we thought we had lived. Cuerpos mudos sin cesar, like cascades smoothing stone, silhouette-shaped tongue. There's a grief in her body that she cannot label, a grief shooting like lightning in the synapses of her belly. Útero infinitude, illicit tongue that seeks Nanahuatzin's will, the most humble of all the gods. Nanahuatzin that kisses your darkest parts where you have hurt everyone else. And with every kiss, warm lips on chest, on earlobes, slick lengua en nuestro paladar, dando la vuelta para decirte, I will always kiss the darkest parts of your thoughts. What happens when life breaks down, when these letters' contradictions are too much to bear, telling you to forgive the last letters to Malintzin? I will tell you that you are bearable, made in the very image of heart as I am of you. I will tell you to come home. You will symbolize everything that is mitochondria. Hold you in my breast, whisper on the edge of your outer ear, true or love. And right there now, Nanahuatzin pulls your entire self out of the cenote, slippery. She lays kisses on a wet purple newborn torso, and it was the vibration of the bees that caught us off guard. We didn't see them coming as we marched up the stairs of an old cathedral on top of a pyramid, an overgrown milpa, abandoned to the last gaze we thought we knew. The last time, the very last morning that I thought we would be together forever, I watched you from the bed, watching your reflection of you, gazing at you, the bathroom door ajar, your body naked brown, pearl-like skin, the silhouette of your breast as you raised your arm, your palm to your face. Everything felt like burnt honey with the soft smell of your axilla. A soft stream of the morning Kansas light poured on our lavender flower sheets. You were the first and last to slip a spoonful of rhubarb pie into your mouth, Light, sweet heart, your gaze kept wavering from empty to hardness as you stood in front of the mirror. From hardness to silence, you became day after that day, in the same way pearls form inside the womb of a wound. And I understood it was a pain you wanted to carry on your own, and I wanted it to bleed into our lives as it bled into our very lives, puddles of blood in everything we did or not do. Because there were so many days after that, it would just be you rocking back and forth on your rocking chair, forever forgetting to look at me. A deep silence that felt like a dull ache, an undiscovered massacre under our feet, haunting until an archaeologist or some developer accidentally rubs it to sight, pulling a fragment of bone that belonged to somebody that maybe was like cute, facetious, really a total smartass to the point of collapsing walls. I didn't know where to begin to hold you except to stand by, my arms wide open, stoically ready, just ready to catch you in any way I could. And I started to miss you so hard right there in our very home, not knowing how to translate your body movements for requests of love. You must have been reaching out from our deepest void. That's the note that we're all from, and we fail to recognize over and over again. How do I make this language sparse enough? So it is only and only our bodies that are making kissing sounds. For the sake of this verse, there's a loop on repeat, repeating itself, watching itself. It is not a broken record. Beginning at the same place, we doom and save ourselves. None of us saw it coming. Each century, the legs of a woman wide open. Pudor entre muslos, sudor entre verbo, verbo en cueros, lengua mojada resbalándose, entre tenso pasado, futuro no podrido del hoy, porque no podrido renace un cuerpecito hacia otro. Y una manzana roja se come, y nos perdemos entre metáfora y tambor, el viento soplando, el gusano comiéndose, para hacerse mariposa. Solo te ruego que pongas tu cuerpo encima del mío. My arrows is the desire to be fully Michika again, to unearthing a Moxley that became dust and hell. All our first songs disappeared only to live in the unlanguage of our sweat. As I slipped my hands into her chest to feel the wet of her blood, she looked straight into my eyes, all the 7 caves swallowed in, and within her close mouth she sang, "We've destroyed my life, and it was just one kiss. Now go ahead, take a bite out of my torso. You are the prodigal language. Welcome home, hijas. I waited an eternity for you. I've been trying to stitch the emptiness, what's indented in all of us, with the ones that took Donatilla's side, took it together for each other. For Nanahuatzin, who no longer has a name nor a sex, has become everything and nothing. So we could be here, we the children of Tonopah." I think of her and how we remember each other when we first learned to make love, licking la cima del trigo in the place of the 7 caves, copiando the callus of the hoe. Her navel sunk as the eye licked the rim of the ear in Temocan. Teocile heard us, fed us the foam, fed us the poem made of song and breath. Aquí mil besos for the lost fragments from our códices, Yamoxli, and us with la X in our bodies. Paisas and Tyre who have become Nanahuatzin fragments that are besos de amor. In a long ago gaze, the boy said today, only 3 or 4 Mayan códices remain. 3 of them are named for the European cities where they are kept: Dresden, Paris, and Madrid.
Speaking in tongues. Speaking in tongues.
Speaking
Hablando
in
en
tongues.
tongues. Speaking in tongues.